Hi everyone. So today in this video we'll see how to create a pipeline project in Jenkins using the declarative pipeline syntax. So we have seen the same how to create a pipeline project in Jenkins using the scripted pipeline. So we have created one project in Jenkins and we have written some script in the Jenkins to execute or build, right? So instead of writing the script in Jenkins, we can create one file called Jenkins file where you can write all the script in the Jenkins file that you have to maintain in your project workspace. That is called declarative pipeline syntax. Okay, so how do we, when you come to this Jenkins, right? So here you can see the pipeline support two syntax. One is declarative, one is scripted. Scripted we already see. So now today we'll see this declarative one. So how this declarative will work? You have to create one Jenkins file. Okay, you have to create one Jenkins file by help of this syntax. Okay, this is a syntax that we have to follow. And in Jenkins, we have to select different options. So in our previous scripted pipeline syntax, we have selected this pipeline script, right? So instead of pipeline script, we can select this pipeline script from SCM, right? Source code management. So where your code is, exists, like a Git or Subversion, right? Or Mercurial, anything it could be. So in our case, we'll see the GitHub. I have kept my project in my GitHub repository. We'll see this one. So before that, we have seen this by using the script. We have executed our Jenkins build, right? So instead of doing this, we can go for this declarative one where we have to maintain one Jenkins file in our project workspace, and you have to select this pipeline in SEM option in Jenkins. Okay. So now we'll create this Jenkins file in my project. So I will go to Eclipse. So here I will create, this is a project that I have in my repository. I will create this file. Make sure you are creating the same name. It should be in the Jenkins file. Okay. So after that, click on the finish. So when you go for a syntax, now this is a syntax that we have to follow. We start from the pipeline and we have multiple stages in between, right? I will copy this file. So what is our first stage? Like a first stage would be like a checking the Maven version, right? So that's what we seen in our previous video as well. So what is the Maven command? Checking the Maven command version is. So this is a one, right? So this one we have created by using this pipeline syntax, right? So when you click on this pipeline syntax, where you can, you can select you can generate some snippet generator by using this, so if you want to run on some Windows bash script, right? So you can select this one. So here, for checking the Maven version, this is a command, right? So this is what we have done earlier. So I will simply copy this line and I will give it to my Jenkins file. Okay. So my first step would be checking my Maven version. I will delete this step. So second step is like executing the build, right? Like running the test. So for running the test, we have to use the Maven command, like a Maven clean test or Maven clean verify, anything you can use. I just copy from my previous thing. I will paste it here. Okay, so now Jenkins file is ready. We have to push this code to the repository. I will push this code to repository now. Okay, I have done the, I have pushed this changes to my repository now. Okay, so if you see this one, so there is no Jenkins file. I will refresh the screen. Now you can see the Jenkins file exists in my repository. Okay, it's not coming. 1 second. Okay, so now we'll go to the repository and see the Jenkins file is pushed or not. Yeah, so now you can see my Jenkins file is pushed, right? 36 seconds ago. So when you open this file, you can see the same details that whatever we have in the Eclipse, right? So now we'll go to the Jenkins. We'll create one new project here. Okay, so I will name as a declarative pipeline. Okay, so here we have to select the pipeline option. So once this is selected, what we have to select? We have to select this pipeline in SCM option, right? So in Jenkins, you just scroll down. Here you can see the pipeline, right? So here you can generate some script. So for example, if you want to print the hello world, right? So this is a script. The same script syntax that we have defined in the Eclipse as well, right? By the name of Jenkins file, we have defined the same thing, right? So when you selected this pipeline script, you have to write the script here, right? So instead of writing the script here, you can select this pipeline script from the SCM, which is source code management. So our source code management is Git one, right? So here we have to pass our Git text. So I will copy my repository URL. So this is my repository URL. I copied this one and I pasted. I don't want to pass any credential. This is, I mean, since this is a public repository, if it is a private, then you have to pass a credential. Okay, so how do you add the credential and all I have covered in my previous video. You can have a look at that one. And it is in master branch and everything is okay. So this one automatically taken as a Jenkins file. So what happens once this, it will pull the code from your repository and it will look for the your Jenkins file. Okay, once the Jenkins file is exists, then our execution will start. Okay, now we'll start the execution. We'll build the project now. I save the project. Okay, so here I have to build the project now. Okay, so the build is started now. We'll watch the console. Okay, our first step like will be check out from the SCM, right? So it has to pull the code from the repository. Okay, so next step would be like I am checking the Maven version. Here you can see all the stages, right? So it has verified the Maven version that I have installed is 3.6.3. So after that, the Maven command, I mean the execute Maven clean test command is passed and the test is started now, right? So we'll wait before, I mean the build to be completed. So here we are not seeing, yeah. So here we have seen the stage view, right? So first stage is like a checkout from the source code management. And second step would be like a checking the Maven version. And third step would be like a running our test, right? So here you can watch the logs also. So this is a log for, I mean, Maven version, right? So the next log is, I mean, the test is still running. You can see everything here, right? The test is started here, right? So we'll wait for the test, I mean, to be completed. So now you can see, I mean, everything is done. Our build is success, right? So here you can see the logs also. So the build is success, right? So this is how we have to, I mean, set up on Jenkins file in our project workspace. You have to push the code to repository. From repository, you can directly run it. So for example, if you want to additionally add one more, like a kind of generating the report, right? So again, you have to copy this line, like one more stage we have to create, right? This stage, like we can name it as a report generation, right? So what is the command that we have to pass? This is a basically Cucumber project. I have configured as a Cucumber Maven report. So here we'll go to the syntax. We'll generate the syntax for Cucumber report. Okay, so this is for Cucumber report, right? So when you click on this generate pipeline, this is a line of code that we get from the pipe. I mean, this syntax, pipeline syntax. Here we have to come to the configure. Sorry, not here. So here in the Jenkins file, we have to update, right? So when I do this, again, I have to commit my code to my repository. So again, I will do the commit. I will push the code. Okay, now the push is done. Let's check. I mean, it's completely pushed or not. Yeah, so it is pushed, right? So now we'll go back to the project. So here we don't want to change anything, right? So when you use the pipeline script, you have to come here and you have to add the code here, right? So when you go for this declarative pipeline mode, you have to do all with your Jenkins file only, right? So here we have added this one and we have committed the code. So when you execute now, you could see the Cucumber report will generated here. So you can see one more stage view will be created in the after running test. Okay, so here there are no Cucumber report now. I will build the project now. You can see again the console things. So it is, I mean, taking the code from the repository, I mean, cloning the repository. After that, it is executing the Maven command, right? So here, I mean, the test is started, Maven clean test, right? So we'll wait for the build to be completed and we'll see the report is getting generated or not. Okay, test is started. I mean, the test is end. So here you can see build is success. We are don't have any failures here, right? So I mean, it's about to generate the report, right? Using the Cucumber report, it's generated the report. Now we'll go back to the project workspace. We'll see the Cucumber report is generated now. So here you can see the Cucumber report is generated, right? So this is my local time, and what is the build number is a 2. We'll go to the Jenkins workspace. So now we can see the report generation is created, right? So whatever you pass here, like a Maven version, running test, report generation, stage name, right? The stage view will be appeared here. Okay, the first one is declarative checkout from the ACM, that is default one. This is the whatever you pass here, right? So here you can see the, I mean, report generation is generated on the build number 2, right? This is a build number 1, and this is build number 2, right? So this is how we'll create the declarative pipeline. So what are the things that we have to remember? Like uh, we have to create on Jenkins file, right? In our project workspace that has to follow this file. I mean this syntax, right? Pipeline agent any and stages. Within the stages, you can give what are the stages you want. For additionally, if you want to send some emails out of the test completion, right? You can add some one more point. So how do we generate that one? So here you have to select the email option, right? Here it will be like a email or mail. Yeah. So mail one. Like you can define that like a 2cc and bcc subject as well as body. If you generate this one, then you can add this stage, I mean this step into the stage, right? So things to remember, you have to create one Jenkins file in your project workspace. You have to follow this syntax, and when it's come to the configuration, you have to give this your GitHub repository details. After this will automatically take from, I mean it will come automatically Jenkins file. Okay, it will take from your repository, I mean your project workspace, it will automatically run. Okay, so this is how we create the declarative pipeline in Jenkins, and we'll execute them. So if you want to schedule like a, I mean, if you want to build up periodically or some amount of interval time, right? So that you can select it here by going to this build trigger, poll ACM. This already we have covered in my previous video, right? So please go and watch this, how to, deal with this build triggers. So if you guys have any doubts or any comments or a clarification, please feel free to update in the comments. Okay. Thank you guys.